lot of people don't know how to do different things and explore different avenues of entertainment. So I definitely have different types of entertainment people here today. I'm laughing because this is actually going to be fun. So, and I don't know if you ever heard of pinups or cosplay. I have 2 pinup and cosplay models here today. They're going to introduce themselves, give you their Instagrams and their Facebooks, and follow them. They're very interesting, and it's something that you might like, especially if you're into movies and stuff like that and nostalgia stuff, all right? So, I'm going to start with Brown Paper Dolly, and then we're going to go to Luna, okay? Let me see if I can do this real quick.
All right.
1 second. Let's see, that's on you. Is it on you?
It's on me.
Is it on you? Let's move this one over.
There it is. Hey.
So, tell me your Instagram.
Hey guys, my name is Susie Doll. My Instagram name is Brown Paper Dolly. BRWNPAPER. D-O-L-L-I.
Okay.
I can totally spell.
Luna, your turn. So tell me if it's on you.
Hey guys, my name is Luna X Mars. You can find me on Instagram at Luna X Mars, Facebook.com/Luna X Mars. And you can also go to my website, lunaxmars.com.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a website.
I do.
Oh, heck. She got
me.
my game up.
People official in here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Janine, what up? So check this out. It's going to be a little different today. We have a little different type of show. So these questions, I expect real answers from these real questions, okay?
It is real Q&A.
That's what it's going to be. All right. So look, check this out. How'd you get started doing this?
Pinup or cosplay or both?
Both.
Okay. Well, interestingly for me, it all started kind of in the same year. I had always had an interest in comic books and things of that nature, like nerdy stuff. Like, you know, X-Men was my gateway drug when I was in elementary school. So I would go to cons. I started going to cons maybe about 2009. And I would see people dressed up and I'm like, whoa, what is this? So me and my best friend, shout out to Jocelyn, hey girl. So we would go to these cons and see people dressed up. We're like, what in the world is this? This is amazing. And we kind of started learning more about cosplay and what it is, and we were like, let's do this one year. So about 2013 is the first time I kind of got dressed up for New York Comic Con. I was Poison Ivy, but it was like, it's almost like when you first do drag, it's like really bad, so like you look on it, like, you're like, what am I doing? But at the time, I felt like I was killing the game until I saw like another Poison Ivy cosplayer, and I was like, I've got a long way to go, but that's okay. But I'd like to think I've evolved over the years, and I do like some of my favorite characters to cosplay include Miss Piggy. That's probably the one I'm known for the most. I do a Satana. I've done Sally Jupiter, and I'm looking to bust out my Starfire again.
Oh.
So she's one of my favorites. So
Starfire. Starfire. I'm a huge Starfire fan.
Yes, so like, she's one of my favorites, and I've got an Ariel from The Little Mermaid on the horizon for Eternal Con. I'm not gonna say which version of Ariel, but it's gonna be real cute. So that's kind of my cosplay background. I guess as far as pinup goes, I also started about 2013.
Okay.
I did a lot of work with a pinup photography studio as a makeup artist. I'm a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
And the head photographer there was always like, I'm going to get you in front of my camera one of these days. So I was like, all right, when pigs fly, sure. Because I was like, for me, I was like, I'm a behind the scenes kind of girl. Like, I have a lot of personality, but I'm also like, let me stay in my lane. I wasn't ready for that. But after I finally started doing a shoot or two, I really caught the bug, and now I'm addicted. I'm pretty ridiculous at this point. So, and for me, I think it was really a big lesson in kind of finding my self-confidence in a different manner. Like a lot of pinup and, you know, vintage imagery is really about like fuller figured women and, you know, some a more classic kind of way of being sexy. So I really kind of found my niche there, and I love it. I feel like everyone should do a pinup shoot at least once in life.
I always suggest it.
Yes.
Always.
Cool.
It's like, do it.
Now, you know, this is New York. So I got 2 more guests. It's not their fault. This is just how the city is. You know what I mean? One was coming from Hyde Park. If you know Queens, Hyde Park is Long Island, so it's mad far. But he made it here, so I definitely appreciate that. And I got my homeboy Greg. You know what I'm saying? He's here too. But they made it here. Parking here is ridiculous, but they're here. So at the end of the day, they'll give you their Instagrams when I, start talking to them. So definitely when you see the two new people, you're not bugging out. It's two new people. All right. So here goes Luna. Let her explain hers. Okay.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I sound as eloquent as Susan over there.
I just have a big mouth, that's it. Like.
So I similarly started doing pinup and cosplay in the same exact year. I started getting into Ghostbusters.
Oh. No, I forgot the theme song.
Who you gonna call?
Oh, there you go.
Ghostbusters.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, so I fell in love with Ghostbusters, and same thing with Susan. I went to New York Comic Con the first year by myself. I was just a comic book collector, and I had heard about New York Comic Con, so people told me you should go, and I was like, cool, I went. And same thing, I saw people cosplaying, and I was like, oh my god,
Mind
what
blown.
is this world? Because I grew up always loving Halloween, and I don't want to compare Halloween and cosplay, but that was my outlet for costuming, putting things together and dressing up as people and characters that I loved. So when I saw people doing it on a much bigger scale, it was mind-blowing. And I was like, I want to do this too. So then at the same time I got into Ghostbusters and pinup, the way I got into that is pretty much Instagram. I had bought a polka dot dress from Kohl's.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren Conrad dress.
Yes.
I put up a picture of me in it on Instagram. I hashtagged it pinup girl. And this was back when Instagram was kind of first getting popular.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, what do you do if you tap on that hashtag? And all these women, all these beautiful women who were still doing pinup, because in my mind, pinup was like something that people did in the 50s and the 60s. I didn't think that people were still doing that today.
Facts.
So when I saw it, I was like, again, mind blown, like, oh my god, I want to do this too. And I already have a background in acting, so all of this kind of came as second nature, modeling and cosplaying. So after I posted that picture, I kept posting a little more here and a little more there, and people would encourage me. The community was really welcoming to me. They always said, yeah, they were so awesome. They always had really nice things to say about my photos, and they encouraged me, and then I just kind of started getting publishing back to back to back to back, and it just kind of snowballed. So at some point I kind of put cosplay on the back burner, and I'm focusing more now on my pinup stuff, because that's really kind of the avenue I want to go.
Okay.
I'm also not super talented at cosplay, you guys. I only did
Girl,
one
bye.
cool thing,
Girl,
one
bye.
really cool thing, which was build a proton pack with the help of some other people too. I do love crafting, I love putting things together, but I'm not talented at it. I'll just say that.
Okay.
I disagree, but fine. I might be
But
biased through
pinup
my
is where
friend.
kind of my heart is going right now.
So we got my guy Matt over here. I think you're Thor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the hammer. I saw the hammer. I see the hair, and I saw the hammer. I saw the hammer. So yeah, I had to, put two and two together. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, definitely. So what about you? I mean, how did you get started doing this?
Well, Halloween was always my favorite holiday.
Come on, you already know what it is.
Yeah, and I always like dressing up for Halloween, and I really didn't get into cosplay until I met the fellow over there, Greg.
Yeah. Psychopath. Yeah, okay.
So I thought, oh hey, I have a cool costume. Walk around, people enjoy it. I always like to go a little extra with the characters.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever seen Metalocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
I do the clown from that, Dr.
Oh, yeah.
Roxanne.
Oh my god.
And people love that. They go crazy. I do the voice and everything.
Okay.
But then Greg came to me. He's like, hey Matt, we're gonna go do the steampunk fair. Do you want to come with us? We're gonna do the Avengers.
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know. That sounds kind of lame.
Okay.
And you were right.
Greg, what about you?
Oh man, I hate to piggyback off of this well-told story about Halloween being the thing, but that's pretty much, when you're growing up and there's, first of all, Halloween is the entire month of October. It's not just one day, it's not just one weekend.
It's a lifestyle.
Yes, every day is Halloween, right, ministry? And you start making your costume like the first day, you draw something out, and then by the end of, hopefully by the 31st, you have something that's wearable and doesn't fall apart on you immediately, which I'm hit or miss with. But that eventually evolved to, I'm trying to think what was the first year we went to the fair. Because Peter and I went as something else, and then we said, hey, we're getting a big group together. We did the steampunk fair as the Avengers, as a big group, and It was wonderful because we all made our own costumes. That's a big thing. Is you make your own thing and you show up as a group, and other people will just kind of like surround you and take pictures and say, "Oh my God, it's so cool!" And then get that rush of like, "Oh God."
That's what it did it for me with Ghostbusters. Because when I first started hanging out with my friends, we would all, if you see a group of Ghostbusters, like, that shit's cool, you can't lie, that's cool. So, same thing, that rush of, like, everyone being excited to see you, shouting out who you're going to call, even though I've heard that, like, 1,000, actually not even 1,000, like, a million bajillion times now. But people who connect with your character and who get excited about seeing you, I think that's what I think for all of us is a big part of why we love cosplay.
Okay. So now, basically, I have another question for you guys. Do you guys get paid for this or anything like that, or like you just doing it right now? I hear the laugh, so that means no.
I've been a little fortunate. I've not been paid, but I've been sort of paid in goods and things.
Okay.
So I've done some work with New York Comic Con where like I've modeled for them for the ad campaign that they had last year. They didn't use my picture, unfortunately, but I got tickets in exchange for that, tickets for the following year. And like I also went to the closing bell ceremony for them at the New York Stock Exchange. So that was pretty cool, that experience in and of itself, just doing that. And I also went on Fox News for them. Also.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, so like,
That's lit.
oh, and I did the Pride Parade, New York City Pride Parade with New York.
Oh, that's lit too. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
so like they haven't been paid, but the experiences that I've gotten in kind of exchange for the opportunity has been. Like,
Sometimes you gotta crawl before you walk. You can't always expect to get paid. This is what you love to do. And, I was just asking the question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's very true.
If this is what you love to do, you don't necessarily gotta look for pay. Sometimes it pays in different ways. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If this is what
absolutely.
y'all love to do, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I actually want to do it. So I don't know.
Do
But the
it.
thing with me is, it's like I'm on something. I'm on not the pinup way, the cosplay.
I was gonna say,
Not the pinup guys. I don't know, but
the polka dots. Come on, everyone tries at least once.
I put you in a cute little like thigh-high stocking, like and some garments be popping.
All right, so nah.
But
So no, you keep going, keep
I was gonna
talking.
say,
Don't stop.
going back to talking about being compensated, I think when you're dealing with subcultures, since it is still not quite as mainstream, even though both kind of the vintage world and cosplay have been gaining more popularity, it's more so like a lot about getting exposure.
Okay.
Like sometimes a company would be like, hey, wear my stuff, and you get to keep it, what have you. So it's cool. But I feel like for me, seems like a lot of like the top tier people, they're getting paid, like kind of mega cosplayers, like the mega vintage models, they're really getting paid. But for me, it's just so fun. So I'm like, if something like monetarily comes out of it, that's just more like a bonus. But for me, it's just for the love of it.
Okay, cool. Matt, have you got paid or?
The closest I got to getting paid was I won a costume contest in a bar once and got a $50 tab. But that's about it. We won a 3rd place in a costume contest once as a group.
Second place.
Second place.
Second place.
All right.
Okay.
It was out of 30, but second place.
Right.
You, Greg?
This is gonna sound kind of like innocent, but I wasn't even thinking about getting paid when I started doing this. I was just like, hey, I want to experiment and see where this goes, because I've always had this idea, like, I want to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's worth anything. And then you literally just jump in and do it. And going to Matt's parents' basement, which is a fully furnished workshop, certainly has
I definitely see y'all Instagram and y'all like building stuff. I watch everything, so I see it.
Yeah. We have a 3rd member who is also.
Yeah, no, I'm about to ask you who's the 3rd person. It was like a 3rd person.
I haven't talked in a while.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I haven't heard from him, but I also haven't really reached out to anyone because I've been just focused on work.
You've been working.
Yeah.
Like you work too much.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Actually, just came from work. I'm on my 2nd energy drink. That's what's keeping me alive.
Oh, just me and Greg work together. Yeah.
Yep. So I wasn't even thinking about money the first time we started this thing, and then I realized, what we're doing is actually like gaining a lot of attention. And we're still doing it year after year after year, and we get better and better.
We try to improve a little bit each year. Because the first year we did the Avengers, I'm not gonna lie, it sucked.
No, that's what Susan said.
His costume,
yeah.
Greg's costume was falling apart. There were pieces all over the ground. Mine was just thrown together. Our friend just had a Hulk hand
Yes.
that I get from the store. He's like, oh yeah, look, I'm the Hulk. I got a Hulk hand.
That first year is always the hardest because it's like you're seeing like what works and what doesn't. It's like you make those mistakes early on. So it's like, yeah, you start off looking back at pictures like, wow, that was raggedy, but then you go back and you're like, but wait a second, like now it's kind of popping. Where else can I go with this?
Yeah.
Like, so we all, it's like, basically, I like to call it cosplay adolescence. Like you real ugly at first.
Oh
but
my
then-
god. I told you the first year I went to New York Comic Con and I heard about costuming, it blew my mind.
Right.
So I had a 3-day pass. The first day I went in regular clothes, tank top, leggings. So now I see costumes and I'm like, I want to dress up too.
Right.
But I didn't have a costume. So what did I do? I took together whatever clothes I had in my closet and I went as a schoolgirl the next day.
Oh,
okay?
bless your heart.
Generic schoolgirl, yes. And then the third day I went as a goth girl. Again, just
I
taking
love
stuff
it.
from my closet, putting it together because I so badly
Wanted
wanted
to
to be a
participate.
part of everyone costumes.
Yes.
And even though we know now, like, it's not like Halloween, you can't go as a witch or a pirate.
Right.
But, you know, that's how badly I wanted to be a part of it, that I was willing to just, like, I wanted to just, like, put anything together.
And you just have to start somewhere because,
Yeah.
you know, we've all been there. So, you know, sometimes you see people are like, wait, like that looks crazy. But it's like, but wait, I remember when I started and it was not pretty. So,
Erica,
it's a
what's
cycle.
So, some of the most famous pinups is you got Eartha Kitt, you got Betty Page,
Yes.
you know, Bunny Yeager, whatever. Who's your
Yes.
favorite?
Oh,
Well,
you
mine's,
start.
mine's always been Betty.
Eartha Kitt.
I love Eartha Kitt.
Oh, she
I
was
love
sexy.
listening to
Oh,
her talk.
Jesus.
Oh,
Mom,
it's amazing.
Even at 80. But shit.
But,
Not happening.
Betty Page has always been my big inspiration because she paved the way for sexuality and just being not afraid to just be sexy at a time when it wasn't okay.
Mhm.
So I absolutely adore her. And she also just had an effortless,
Yeah, essence.
beautiful
Yeah, I seen it.
beauty about her.
Checking
That
her out.
she could just smile and it was like perfect. She could pose any which way and it was perfect. And I'm still trying to learn how to kind of capture
And
that
like your
same-
hair and your skin complexion, like you kind of like, I can say resemble. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, y'all kind of resemble each other a little bit. So yeah.
Funny thing
yeah.
is-
Yeah,
That really
yeah,
means
yeah.
so much to me because I kind of like,
That's what I
she's
thought.
I have a picture in my bedroom. Like, I adore her. I'm
Hey.
gonna get her tattooed on me one day, too.
Definitely, I did my homework, so I'm.
I'm proud.
Good.
And the funny thing is, the first time I met Luna was actually at
That's
a
right.
contest.
A Betty Page
Betty
Oh, that was
like
good.
contest that I won first place for.
I hilariously came in third. Luna was first place.
Yeah.
Deservingly so. It
That's
was so
right.
fun. So like that's the
Yeah.
first time we met.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what about you? Who's your influence on? Like, who you like?
Oh man, I have a lot of personal pinup influences. I think Marilyn Monroe was again my gateway drug.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to say it.
Yes, shout out real quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a lot of her essence, like a little bit of teetering, like that, you know, the dumb blonde kind of construct, but then like she was so intelligent in real life,
Yep.
like really studying, you know, her time in New York really helped shape her as an actress, really trying to better herself and make herself, you know, taken more seriously
Mhm.
as far as her craft goes. So Marilyn's definitely one, Betty's another. I feel like I take a lot of most of my personal pinup inspiration also from cartoons from the 40s and 50s. Like definitely like the old Tex Avery cartoons. Like Red Hot is one of my favorites. Like if
Okay.
you haven't seen any of those shorts, like they're so fun with the wolf. Like those are my jams. So I have such an amalgamation of things, like part cartoon, part pinup, a little bit of Lil' Kim also. Like
Oh, I will say, are you done?
yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you.
All right, Baku.
I will say on that note, because you brought up Little Kim, second to Betty Page for me is Vintage Vandal.
Yes.
Okay.
She is a pinup from New York City.
Shout out to
and-
Jasmine.
Yeah, shout out to Jasmine. Hey girl, will you watch this?
She's in Vegas right now. They're doing
Yeah, she's
good.
in Vegas right now. but,
Y'all two need to like podcast. Jesus Christ. I'm just here. I'm just chilling, bro. Okay, I'm sorry.
So she's the biggest inspiration for me because she's from New York City and she is I don't want to like say this in a bad way. She's a pinup, beautiful. She has got it on lock, but she's also, put it in your words, real.
Mm-hmm.
She's from around here.
That's from the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Queens girl.
Queen.
She's a
Oh,
Queens
yeah.
girl. You know,
I'm a
like,
fan.
so like one
Vintage
moment,
Vandal.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking up.
You're gonna
Vintage
love her.
vandalism on Instagram.
Vintage
Check 'em
vandalism.
out.
Yeah. She you know, one shot she'll be in full pinup, and then another she'll be wearing Tim's and
And
really
Adidas tracksuit.
cute-
Like,
Oh.
Exactly.
Sound like my type.
And she has her own style, and that's something that
Sometimes you gotta embrace that,
and
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to also kind of tap in for myself.
Okay.
Is that she is so unique because in this community, there's a lot of positivity with it, but there also is kind of bad sides to everything.
I guess I gotta ask that question next.
And what I will say, and I won't get into it too much, is that it wasn't very diverse when it kind of first
Oh yeah,
started
I
rolling
seen
around.
that part of it. Okay.
Wasn't very,
Okay.
and people like her really inspire me and
Okay.
encourage
Dope.
me to kind of do my own thing.
Definitely. All right, so Matt, what about you? Any male pinups that we talking about? I know there's a couple.
I mean, just myself,
Just
really.
yourself?
I look at myself in the mirror.
He's an innovator in the genre.
Listen, listen. Somebody gotta start somewhere. There gotta be somebody to start.
Yeah, I know these two want me to do a little pinup shoot.
Yes.
They
Yes.
told me.
Do it.
Yes.
There's some dude I seen when he had a pompadour. I can't remember his name. I didn't write his name down because there was a lot of females that's dominating the category.
Yeah.
But it seems like
Tony, maybe?
I forgot his name.
Well, you know they have the DC Bombshell
Yes.
characters. Have you
Yes.
seen those?
Yes.
So they did a
absolutely.
second
Love
wave.
it.
They did a second wave on those where they had the male versions. So
They have a Batman right
They
now.
did a. They did a. You saw that?
Yes.
They did a Batman. There's an Aquaman.
Yeah.
There's a Hawkman.
He'll be
There's
the next
most of the DC men. You have like the male versions of the pinups.
Okay.
Oh,
If
when
you look
they
up the
put out a
DC
night,
Bombshell,
you're gonna die, like.
DC Bombshell variants,
Yes.
you'll see them.
We do the girls.
Well, I'm
we do
actually
some guys
planning a
like that.
Stormfront situation, but.
Okay.
What about you, Greg? What about you, Greg?
I can appreciate a well put together man. I don't know any. Backtrack. No, if you're a handsome looking dude and it's like, oh, you look really good in that suit and pompadour and sideburns I can't grow, you are, I can emulate that as much as I can. But I don't know if there's any name I could attach to that person.
Yeah, okay.
Like you see like rockabilly musicians.
Mhm.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
You're
50s and
right.
60s
Tattoos
got,
to the
yeah.
neck and they
Yeah.
drive like the low riders and the something like aces of spades
Mhm.
and other gambling and things like that. Yeah, like that style is as close as I can get to.
So,
You know.
my fault.
No,
Was that?
no. Carry on.
Oh, my fault, Greg. I didn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was cool. I know.
But you have the Archie
Styles.
characters also.
Archie, that's
Yes.
what I was
The
gonna say
Archie
that, but I ain't
Jughead.
gonna sound like, I didn't know what I was talking about. But how does your significant other feel about this? Like, do y'all dress up for each other and stuff? Now, this is actually funny because you two are idols,
Yes.
right? I do. Listen, I do stuff for a reason. I want to know because honestly, I would think this would be so dope. Like you could dress up and y'all can role play and stuff like that. Like, is that a part of their lifestyle? Or no? Am I bugging?
No, you're not bugging.
Okay.
That's actually, I think, a big part of why we first connected and why we first started dating is
That's dope.
because we do the same thing. You know,
Mhm.
he does cosplay and I was doing it as well. We actually have cosplay together. I think only one, right? We did.
Yeah.
He dressed up as Janine from Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And
That's
I was
so cute.
I was a Ghostbuster.
Oh,
I kept the beard and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Janine is the
The
fiend lady, right?
like receptionist.
yeah, the receptionist.
secretary.
I didn't catch that. I was like, wait a minute. Janine is the yeah, okay. With the red hair, she had like red hair or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we did his
Bro.
hair red. and
Okay.
That is so
Yeah.
he
cute.
That's
wore
dope.
the-
I took her like an
Yeah.
hour before the con started. She was just like on my hair, like
Teasing
the
it.
spray. There's a picture of me somewhere. She's just like taped
I
paper
got you.
towels
You gotta
all over
send me
my
that. I'm
face.
putting it on the
I
website.
miss
so-
this. Like,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to go back in your guys' picture archive.
Oh,
Yes.
The pictures are there.
Greg, you're on the clock. What about you, bro?
For
You already know what we talking about. I'm not gonna make a pun on the camera, but yeah. Does she like? Hey, because I'm definitely gonna kill her when I see her tomorrow.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. But yeah, do y'all? I mean, does she want you to dress up?
So last week we were going to a fancy dinner and I didn't really have anything to wear.
Okay.
So
Oh my God.
I said,
I'm nervous.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I dreaded this day coming, but we went shopping for something to make me look like a decent human being.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I got a shirt, I got a vest, I got a jacket, and didn't look like crap. So I let her pick what sharp dressed stuff she'd put on me.
Okay.
So while I don't do, what you guys do, as far as looking good all the time.
I think the question was, what is your significant other think
Yeah.
about you doing
What did you think about it?
Oh,
What did she think?
cosplay. I thought we were going back to the pinup.
I was like, okay.
I was telling that.
What does she think? Does she like it or does?
Oh yeah. Well, she's gone with me. She's gone with me a couple times to Boston. We went. I didn't know if she knew anything about steampunk at the time we went to this event, and she comes to my car wearing a corset, dress, gears and keys and everything.
She was ready.
Yeah.
She was ready for the
She was ready. I didn't even know. She surprised me.
Aw.
So I had no idea she was that into it. I had no idea she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with you on this long 3-hour trip there and 3-hour trip back and enjoy the day in the rain. For you,
Aw.
No.
that was love.
Before I get to you real quick, fellas, get you a nerd girlfriend. I always tell dudes always ask me. That's the type of female you need, bro. Nerd females, I love them. I'm a nerd. I don't look like one, but I'm a super nerd. Get you a nerd girlfriend. That's all I gotta say. Okay, your turn.
Well, I am very single right now.
Okay.
Single as a $1 bill. But I do, when I am dating someone, I do like to incorporate,
She's single,
doing
huh?
dress cute.
I'm single too. What up? Nah, good.
And it's like, and I would be the nerd girlfriend, so, hey, what up, though? So I do like to incorporate it when I get a chance, but right now it's just for me. And
Thanks.
I feel like that's also important, not to be like, oh, I'm just doing this for a significant other, or I'm doing this just for a guy. Like, it's a part of who I am, so of course that's going to kind of spill into, my dating life as well. I actually did go on a date a couple years ago with a guy who I got, I was like casual cute. Like I had my little red peplum dress on, but I had like a flat and like my hair was like really cute. And he was like, I don't understand why you dressed up. You just could have just come in jeans. And I was like, sir.
Excuse me.
I was like, this is not going to work
Right.
at all.
I was just about to say that
Right.
if you're not into cosplay and nerd stuff, and just don't even bother. I mean, don't bother right now.
Disclaimer.
Get yourself acquainted with it.
But
Yeah.
I think anyone who's into nerd culture would feel, I think, the same way. It's this kind of like, don't expect anyone to change or not do what they love.
Right.
Okay. So, if somebody wanted to get started, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them? Like, what would you tell them to do if they wanted to get started doing the
don't give
cosplay?
Don't give up. and go for it.
Pinup.
Both.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Go for it. Be brave. Have fun. Be yourself.
Okay.
All that jazz. It sounds cheesy, but it's true.
Yeah. If you
It
believe
really
in it,
is.
it's gonna. If you me and Steph, I had this conversation earlier. When you manifest something, you speak it into existence, it comes true.
Yeah. When I first started doing pinup, I did not have any idea that I would get to where I am today as a model.
Yeah. I seen your growth on Instagram. You're growing with that crowd that's actually following you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I watched your page too. I've like for the past couple of days. I just be gauging.
Just stalking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically stalking. Yeah, you know what I mean. So basically, but I do see the growth from how when you first started to now where you're going. You're going in the right direction.
Thank
It's meant, and then like you said, you found somebody that you want to be with who has the same interests as you.
Right.
There's no stopping y'all.
Yeah,
All y'all gotta do is keep going, and that's
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That
yeah, I
means
definitely
there's
support.
hope for me.
I definitely support.
There is.
Yeah, you gonna find you one. I shot my shot. You didn't say that. But I mean, I shot it. I didn't shoot it. I shot it.
I was gonna discuss this after.
Oh, okay. On camera. Good, bro.
Yeah, so like she said, you just gotta be brave. You gotta.
You gotta show them that hammer.
You gotta be able
With
to
the
show
hammer.
it. Tristan, give me the hammer.
That's the hammer.
Oh, you got the hammer. Oh, no, never mind. Just kidding.
Put it over by you.
So,
Only those who are worthy.
That's an important Matt, you should be proud.
Look at that. Knock somebody out with that bad boy. Look at it, bro. I ain't mean to cut you off. Cut.
Yeah, so
You leave right there.
Yeah,
leave right
right.
there.
Now I want to hold it.
Don't be afraid to be yourself, because like Luna was saying, it's scary sometimes, especially when you're riding down the 7 train. The only person
Yeah.
in costume going to the Javits
Yep.
Center at 6 in the morning, and everyone's like looking at you like, who's that freak?
This is New York.
Then
Somebody,
again, it's New York,
it's
so-
New York. Everybody say, anybody looking at you like that? They probably like, to be honest with you, they're probably looking at you like, damn, I wish I could do that. No, facts.
Right.
Yo, listen,
Yeah,
man.
that's probably
I
what it
actually,
is.
I
You
salute
have
you
to have that
guys
mindset.
because you're actually in your own element. When you're in your own element and you do what you want to do, that makes you happy in life. If you don't do what you want to do, a lot of people go about their life trying to appease everybody else.
That's true.
If you do your own, what you love to do in life, you'll be happy. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I applaud you dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? And ladies, I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is when you do what you want to do in life, I know that for a fact. It's like it makes you happy. No matter what. There ain't no money, no value that nobody can put on that. All right? So don't if they looking at you, whatever, who cares? Yeah, bro.
All right. Best advice I can give that I also need to remember to take myself. Do not be afraid to make mistakes.
Facts.
Yes.
Because you will look at your art and you will hate it and you want to destroy it, and I have. But you got to keep going because you're not going to get better unless you do something, hate it, and then make it better.
No facts.
And then keep going until you eventually get to the point where you're like, all right, this is good. I will tolerate this. And then you keep going, and that's how you build yourself up. But you got to continue to do something, and if it doesn't work out, start again. Think of what you've done wrong, move in that direction. Eventually, you're going to make like actual. I don't want to say like worthwhile because you're your own worst critic. You look at what you do and you say, "This is awful. No one's going to like it." But you have to start somewhere, and that's something that it took me a really long time to get in my head. So don't wait too long.
Facts. Never too late though.
Yeah, never too late.
All
Get
right.
out there and do it. I should be making costumes
all right.
up right now. Like Halloween comes around the same day every year.
Never too late.
Never prepared for
Never
it.
too late. What about you?
Never.
So I think for me, and something that I've kind of taken away from both doing pinup and cosplay is not to be afraid to step out of the box. Sometimes, especially in communities of color, you know, being different is sometimes looked down upon, like, you know, oh, you're weird. Why do you like that? Why this and why that? And sometimes so much negative energy. And I feel like you have to be strong enough in yourself to say, I'm going to go kind of against the curve of what is supposed to be normal for someone within my community. You know, it's funny, like talking about going on the train and everything in cosplay. I live out in Jamaica, Queens. So
me too.
okay.
Oh,
So you already know where I'm going with this. You know, me, you know, my two best friends will be on our way getting on the railroad, and people are like looking like, is it Halloween? I'm like, no, it's October 5th, relax. So just not being afraid to just, you know, be a little weird. It's okay. And then again, you know, like Greg was saying, like, don't be afraid to make any mistakes. Like, you're gonna, you know, wear the wrong thing at a car show, and you know, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't look right, and this, that, and the other. But you kind of take that and just continue to evolve.
Right.
Like, don't be afraid to evolve and have
do
fun.
something different, yeah, bro.
Right, do something different, have fun, and just be a little weird.
Yeah, on that
I'm a little
note,
weird.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think you have to be a little weird to really get all of this. But I was going to say on Susan's note about not being afraid to be weird, it may be hard because you could be surrounded by people who are putting you down and calling you weird and making you feel bad for what you like, but you're going to find your people soon.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
You know, at some point you're going to find
People are like seasons, man.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. You're going to find the people who enjoy the same things you do and the people who are going to support you. And it's going to suck for a while if you're in that position, but really just stay strong and keep going with it.
When you find your tribe, it's
Yes,
amazing.
that's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Tried.
Yes.
Well,
I felt you.
Hey, Stephon, I gotta ask him a question, right? Ask him a
Yep.
question.
Yeah, ask him the question.
You know what's funny? I didn't bring out the bell. I need the bell for them. I'm gonna bring the bell out the next.
Bring the-
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like
ring
a
the bell
bell.
out.
Oh, yeah. Normally I need to use the bell because people don't know when to stop. So when I ring the bell, I'll be like, y'all gotta stop.
Oh,
Me and Stefan ask this question all the time because me and him are real big on the zodiac. So I need to know, what is your zodiac sign? That's the last question for you guys.
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo. Okay. What about you, bro?
He's an Aquarius.
Yeah.
Virgo?
I don't pay attention.
When your lady knows her shit. Let's go. You can tell you're Aquarius. You're humble. I see it. Okay. What about you, Greg?
Also an Aquarius.
Oh, see, that's what me and Greg get along because he's an Aquarius. I know you. What about you?
I'm a Taurus, and my birthday's actually next week.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
We're going to the Playboy Club. to
Yes, it's gonna be so
celebrate.
cute.
Playboy
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
What's that?
If they
Playboys?
actually revive,
Open
speaking
there.
of, you know, vintage and pinup things, they
I might need to go with you.
come through. It's gonna be real
Oh,
cute.
swing
So
out.
they revived the Playboy Club from like the 60s and 70s. So it's gonna be that same vibe, like the bunny outfits and
Step on.
everything.
on the itinerary. Yeah, but listen, I really do appreciate you guys spending the time. I just want to ask y'all, are y'all going to stay for the Marvel conversation though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? I got my Marvel people in the background waiting, like their hands full. They got their little figurines here. I mean, y'all can't see it on live. I'll show y'all in a second. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, right? And then we're gonna come back talking about Marvel, MCU, DCU, all that stuff, basically. So don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? We be right back. Everybody got to stretch. Oh no, you ain't going nowhere. You sitting right there, so you know what I mean?
Segment 1.
Aquarius gang, stop it. Everybody Aquarius gang. Yeah, bro. That's why you one of my dudes. Aquarius people are cool. Don't push you. You're a little crazy though. Oh, by the way, I'm a Gemini. If y'all didn't know.
We had no clue before.
So
I kept saying.
Stefan's a what? What's his sign?
Gemini.
Oh.
No.
What's your birthday?
June 2nd.
What's my birthday?
June 2nd.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank you, voice off
Birthday
camera.
buddy.
Listen, all I have to tell you people is, people always ask me for advice, right? So I'm going to tell you a little advice before we get started to the next segment. Just check this out. I'm not really too big on the zodiac thing, but when you read something and it gives you the path and you follow it and it works, maybe you should just look into it just a little bit. So anybody that's listening right now and you struggling with what you want to do in life, I suggest you read your zodiac sign. Because this year, particularly 2019, is a crucial year in the zodiac. That's all I ask you to do. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe in the zodiac. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I need you to go home and read your zodiac.
Okay.
It will help you with your path in life.
I feel it.
There was no Scorpios here, so we good. Who's Scorpio? Oh. I said it. I'll tell you later what that is. But yeah, 5 minutes, guys. Be right back. So yeah, if y'all need the bathroom,